Okay, so we're gonna look at graphing sine and cosine functions. So if you haven't yet, pause the video right now and finish this table of values using your calculator. So using the function f of x is sine x, find all the y values, okay? So if you do that, once you've done that, you will see that you'll have 0 here. Here you'll have some values that are decimals. Then here you'll have 1, decimals again, 0, decimals again, -1, decimals again, and back to 0. So these are the key points that we're going to use to graph the sine function. So it looks like 0, 0, 91, 180, 0, 270, -1, and then 360, 0. So that's what a sine function looks like. Okay? Now there's some specific terms. Amplitude is how far from the middle does the sine function go up and down. So here, the amplitude is 1. Period is how long does a function take to start repeating. So a period, in this case, is 360 degrees. Okay? There's an axis here that the function kind of goes up and down from, and that's called the middle axis. Okay? All right. So that's what a sine graph looks like. And then let's do the same thing for cos. So again, I'm going to have you pause, do the whole table. Okay, now that we're back, I'm going to fill in some of the special values. So cos 0 is going to be 1. Decimal, decimal, this is going to be 0. Decimal, decimal, -1. Decimal, decimal, 0. Decimal, decimal, 1. So cos goes like this. Okay, so it curves towards there, then it curves up, and then it curves back. So again, it's got a middle axis. Okay, it has an amplitude. Right, so amplitude is 1. And it repeats again after 360. So it also has a period of 360. Okay? So let's summarize a couple of things. So the domain of a sine and cosine function is 300 and, oh, sorry. So also these functions, I can do negative angles. I can do bigger angles. They'll just continue. So the domain of a sine and cosine function is -infinity to infinity. The range, it always goes up and down from 1 down to -1. So the range is from from -1 to 1. The period, how long it takes to start repeating itself, is 360, because then it repeats. And the amplitude for both of them, how far away from the middle point does it go? Well, it goes up 1 and down 1. So that means its amplitude is 1. Okay? All right. So we can transform sine and cosine function exactly the same way that we did before. Okay? So we can do a phase shift, that's right, left. We can do a vertical shift, same as before. We can do a horizontal stretch and compression. The way we want to look at a stretch or compression is that now we want to look at how much does the period get stretched or compressed. So the new period is 360 divided by the compression factor. And then the amplitude is the vertical compression. So remember the amplitude was 1, right? Well, the new amplitude is A times 1 because we're multiplying that old amplitude, which is A. Okay? So let's look at what that looks like in a function. So for this function, state the amplitude. Well, because it's multiplied by 3, my amplitude is 3. The period used to be 360, but now it's over 2, right? So now it's 180, okay? If it was sine a half x, then the period would be 360 divided by a half, which would be 720, okay? So we always do 360 divided by that k value, okay? Phase shift, this is just what we call horizontal translation now. And so we can see here that it's left 60 degrees. Vertical shift, same as before, down 1, okay? And so maximum and minimum, well, what that means is that now, remember my middle axis used to be at 0? Well, it's been shifted down 1. So my middle axis is at -1. And the amplitude is 3. So from there, it goes up 3 and down 3. So that means the maximum is at -1 plus 3, 2, and the minimum is at -1 minus 3, -4. So maximum is 2 and the minimum is -4. So you can always think of this as the middle axis, which is like the vertical shift, plus the amplitude. And this one is going to be the middle axis, which is like the vertical shift, minus the amplitude. Okay? And that's it.